Hey, how we doing out there? This is Dr. Matt Eichler here at Cypress Creek Chiropractic, and this month we're talking a little bit more about stress. So I'm going to kind of kick that ball rolling. I'm going to get the ball rolling here with just kind of explaining what stress actually is, okay? And sometimes people don't really understand, but we're going to kind of run down through this diagram. Hopefully people can read my handwriting here. I know it's kind of bad, but we're going to run down through. So stress comes in three different forms, all right? There's physical stress, there's chemical stress, and there's emotional stress. All right, chiropractors call these the three T's: the traumas, the toxins, and the thoughts. All right, but each one of these has a macro and a micro component. Okay, so the macro component for a physical stressor would be like a motor vehicle accident or a major stress, an old sports injury, or some sort of major trauma. Not necessarily just to like the spine, but to any kind of, just any major injury. A micro stressor might just be more of just sitting all day long, or chronic repetitive overuse of one side of your body, or something along those lines. Chemical stressors, we have macro and micro components as well. So a macro chemical stressor would be like a toxicity, okay? Some sort of like food toxicity or a, let's say food poisoning, okay? But like a micro stressor would be maybe just like the inflammation that happens when we just eat terrible foods over and over, processed food-like substances that some authors have called them. Emotional stressors, same thing. Macro stressor would be like a death of a loved one or a major loss of some sort, a divorce, something like that. Emotional stressors, micros, might just be kind of like constant stress at work, or just a stressful marriage, or a stressful, home life, or something along those lines. They can all activate your sympathetic nervous system tone, okay, or your sympathetic nervous system. So in our bodies, we have two different kind of nervous systems. We have a sympathetic nervous system, and we have a parasympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response. That's that kind of, obviously if we're going to fight or we're going to flight, or if somebody, let's just say somebody cuts you off in traffic, or you have a near miss in traffic or something, and you feel that heart just kind of booming, right? So that's the fight or flight response. The parasympathetic nervous system is more your rest and digest and recover and grow and heal. That's the nervous system that a lot of times we don't get into enough because we're stuck here, okay? So when we're stuck in that sympathetic system, we know that we have this chronic stress physiology. And there's so much research out there now explaining how stress over time and stress physiology just destroys our health, okay? So we need some sort of strategy to manage or reduce that stress. Now, we're not just going to reduce it, okay? Because stress is always ongoing. There's always stress. So we got to build resilience to that stress. And the way that we do that are through a number of different strategies, but the best way that we know, and through a lot of different research and all the books that you read, magazines out there, we're going to know that there's 4 different pillars of health. And that's how we eat, how we move, how we think, and how we recuperate or recover or rest. Okay, so those 4 things need to be happening on an ongoing basis so we can build resilience to stress. But one of my favorite strategies, and you guys probably knew this was coming, is the chiropractic adjustment. All right, so there are so much research now, especially later research that's kind of happening right now, or just recently has happened, that shows that chiropractic adjustment, it influences the spine via influencing the central nervous system, vice versa. There's such an intimate connection here that we're seeing that when we adjust the spine and we get rid of subluxation in the spine, we're going to decrease that sympathetic nervous system tone and increase the parasympathetic tone, which is super exciting, just to kind of understand that just the adjustment doesn't necessarily just help with your aches and pains and your things that you typically go to the chiropractor to kind of get adjusted or get addressed. It also decreases the stress and the stress physiology your body's experiencing. So we're excited to kind of be talking about stress this month. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. This is just kind of an intro to another talk that we're going to be doing later in the month. So definitely would love to have you guys come on out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.